What's going on, guys? We are back from, I think, the longest hiatus in terms of chapter releases, and maybe the longest hiatus in terms of podcasts. Fortunately, Murata has blessed us with the next installment of One Punch Man Chapter 132. We're here in response to some unspeakable things. You guys already know the family's here, the boys is here. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Chilling. Welcome back, Murata. Crazy art, as always. Glad to see you back.
Dare we say some of the best art he's done in a good long while.
For sure.
I mean, that Garou fight was pretty alright.
Yeah, but that, man, he had he's like 4 panels, whatever I could take away from, especially in this art that just look amazing. They all look good, but it's like 4 that look like crazy.
One of them we got to compare to the best one in the series, the whole Saitama versus I call it Frontier, where he's staring up at the Dark Matter Thief ship.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I don't, not to get too ahead of it, but that's my. I think will always be my favorite one, to be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation at least.
I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. We got some weird shit going on, and we got some awesome artwork. Couldn't be happier.
With that being said, guys, if you guys want to discuss the topics that will be discussed on today's podcast, make sure you check out the Discord link in the description and the Patreon if you want to support. Boy, I don't know where to start with this one. Should we get to the big points and address those first, and then go through the chapter page by page after, or should we just stick to the scheme and go page by page? What do you guys think?
Let's go. Let's do it how we always do it.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Clusterfuck later.
So then all right then, with the base lifted in the last chapter. Well, no, hold on. Let's start with the titties, bro. That's
what?
That's really
All right.
Well, we get side titty in the opening cover.
The cover page, that's it. I mean,
A little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like under boob side titty. That's
is covered by the wham. But
I guess, but that's
nice
the pervert part of the boob shit, bro. Come on, dog. You gotta.
What, the side boob?
Yeah, bro. From the bottom, come on.
If you already are ogling at her breasts, I don't think you can classify the pervert side of looking at it.
Bro, you can, because if you're stretching your neck out, you're going out of your way to get a good glimpse at the shit. That's what's going on here, bro. We're from the back side, behind the.
You're saying it's a pervert angle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Only a pervert would get this angle. A real nigga would be like, hey, Cyrotius, what you got underneath that shirt? She'd be like,
what?
Stop it, Grimm.
All right.
But would y'all feel about the whole I guess nipple? I don't know how to properly put it. What do you guys think, man?
It looks like she's wearing a bodysuit. I got some Neon Genesis Evangelion vibes from it, just because it's just you can see the nipple. You see where the nipple should be at least. And it looks like she has markings on her titties, so it looked like a bodysuit. It's just weird. It's fucking weird. In this monster form, this would be all cool or whatever if she was in her human form, but I don't know how to feel about it in this monster big ass shit. So, not gonna lie, the dick wasn't as hard as it should be or could be.
I suppose. Thanks for that bit of information, Satsuki. I really needed to know that on a Thursday evening. But yeah, I thought it was a bit weird in the sense of, never before have I ever had to continuously look over my shoulder as I was reading a manga. It was just one of those situations where I was like, oh my god, every single page I was turning on something new, and I was like, what the heck? I'm trying to read, you fighting people. What's happening here? Stop. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. I didn't really mind it too much, but even now it's on screen. I have to make sure the door don't open. I get my ass whooped.
Bro, like you can even see like the back of her butt cheek right there. Like that's the back of the cheek and shit.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Goddamn.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't looking that closely. this guy talking about pervert angles, and he's like, "Yeah, actually, you can see her cheek if you're looking close enough."
You can see the areola and everything. Good shot. It's just very weird.
Man. Like the curves and shit right there between her thighs, like how the breasts like cut. Like, bro, she's really like. Let me not even go there, bro.
See what I thought was pretty cool was, well, I might be wrong here, but I think what I thought originally was that she has kind of like, like the Chitara thing from was it He-Man or was it Thundercats? It's one of the two.
It was Thundercats.
Thundercats, that's the one. But I thought she had like some sort of design going up her shoulder and up her kind of hip. But now I look at it, I think it's just the shadow of her hair, right? Which is kind of sad.
Which then makes you wonder, is that her skin, or is she like somehow covering her body in psychic energy and it's just like kind of taken this state?
I have no clue.
I wonder how the anime is going to handle this.
Because all that, like,
yeah, she's probably like glowing or some shit.
Yeah, she has to be glowing, bro. Like the hair just like fuses in with her chest and shit. Like that's. I don't know, man. She looks like amazing right there. Like I don't want to say the other ones were like not as appealing, but she definitely looks like stunning right here. The curves and shit are like the lines you were just talking about. Like they're appealing and shit. And then Tot's right there in the corner in comparison. Like I don't know, bro. Like Suzuki, we was talking about like before this, like the different like animes that you've seen. Like are the females in One Punch like top tier, or like is there like another series that has better females on average?
We're talking about purely looks, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to looks, One Punch Man is very top heavy just because there's not a lot of female characters, but for what they give you, like they're shooting like One Punch Man just for an example, it's like shooting 5 for 5. Like it's good, but it doesn't take a lot of shots for me to be super impressed. But for the females that we do have, yeah, I pretty much like them all. I'm not the biggest OS fan though, but I still had to acknowledge the community likes her. So
yeah.
It's like you keep that mask on. I think we can try.
That's y'all. I'm good off
No,
OS.
I thought that's what you were going to.
Nah, I'm good off OS. It's the whites of her eyes being all black. It always just disturbs me. I'm good. That's why I don't like I think her name is Mina from My Hero Academia. Don't like her either.
Bro, but you could like look up though while you getting head, or like fucking like put the blanket over her head, or like were you hit it from the back only. Like you can make these compromises, bro. Have her put on sunglasses all the time.
I'm gonna support Satsuki on the Mina thing, mostly because I think she's underage, but also because of what he sees.
No, I wasn't even talking about like that, but yeah.
Gotta keep it toasty, boys.
Oh shit! I mean, before we push on though, like, I do want to give credit to like Murata. Like, he's still, or at least whoever's doing it, like, they're still giving like detail to the buildings, to the structures of like Z City and those around there. Because like all the pictures that we've seen of like the multiple cities, it's pretty much in one direction or the other. You can look as far as like the horizon, and all you're seeing is structure. So like the cities are pretty big, and like they're long, like they're huge. Like I've seen a lot of different aerial views like just going on YouTube and like watching these people do like tours of different cities, like in Japan or whatever. You know, it's kind of interesting to see like what Japan actually really looks like. You see like kind of how these cities are modeled, and they look similar, very very similar to how they are in the manga of One Punch, but like you can just tell by default. Like sometimes they'll have drones go up into the sky to like get a city view of like the area, and like they're nowhere compared to this. Like these cities in One Punch are enormously massive. Like you're not even really gonna find cities in the U.S. that are like so heavily populated with like homogenous looking buildings. Like a city isn't gonna have like miles and miles of skyscrapers or like buildings of a certain type that usually vary. And like here in One Punch, you can't see variance when you get up close, but like you can tell that there's like it's really like residential shit or like shops or whatever that go as far as the eye can see. Like imagine like your local residential district where there's like a flea market or like a strip just going as far as the eye can see. Like that mall would be unprecedented. Like in at least in the panel here that we're looking at on where we see Sairochi's nipples or whatever. Like it's crazy to like just take that into mind that like these are all just like suburbs or like shops that are now on like rocks that are sideways. Like imagine that, bro. Imagine you're sitting in the street and like you're horizontal, and then with binoculars you look across and then you can fucking see the next city, bro. Like that's like that would be so fucked up and crazy. Like I really like you really gotta like just look at it for a minute to take into perspective what's really going on here.
Oh, the whole planet's kind of a different structure. You know, like it's like Pangea almost. So, and the whole thing with Pangea is that's what allowed dinosaurs to get as big as they did, because it was just more landmass. So maybe there's a weird comparison to how cities were able to become so sprawling. I know it's a weird angle I'm mentioning, but yeah, these are like multiple cities worth, and even then, it's like far exceeding that.
Another thing that I guess we can check out next is so the whole tendril thing about like this confused me because you guys see like the slimy things that are attached to the like to the rocks and the debris and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Slimy web.
Yeah. Like
stuff.
wasn't Orochi doing that?
Yeah.
But later, I don't know if it's skipping ahead, but like later on in the chapter, it's revealed that like Sairochi has this ability, and like it's supposedly like given by the god character.
Was it that specific ability that was given, or just the power that she had?
Well, like you see it saying slurp slurp, and then when we get to it later on,
Slurp,
like
slurp.
she
That was so weird. It's like they're giant straws.
Because like that's what Orochi was doing. Like Orochi was like covering shit with his slime and then like absorbing and gathering that that power. Excuse me. So like, couldn't that be the same exact concept that happens on the reverse scale? Like, not even like that. Let me rephrase it. Like, if Orochi was doing the same thing, right, and it was like only like human things, right? This thing is attached to like debris or whatever. Is it two different powers that we're seeing here? Like, did Sairochi take over Orochi's ability? Is that why she can still do it? Like, is the reason why I'm asking is like, I feel like the character we're gonna get to later on, God, is like manipulating Sairochi's mind. Not only was he able to interfere at a moment, like an amazingly quick moment of interference when they were transforming, because we were almost there the entire time when they were transforming. Not only was he able to affect this strong ass being from afar and without being on screen and revealed, but Sairochi had a vision of an entire planet, like she was out in space. So like this thing is obviously messing with her mind. So I'm like, this is an ability that we've seen from the beginning from Orochi. Could it be that like this character is still manipulating Sairochi, like is still making her think certain things? Like this, like I'm arguing that like God couldn't have given her this power, and maybe that this power is different from the one that Orochi was using. But like, what if like everything that's going on has something to do with God's influence? Like I'm not. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like I'm not disputing that like God gave her power, but I'm trying to figure out like if this is a sign that's trying to tell us or reveal to us the actual like cloak that's being put on over our eyes. Because like this nigga's apparently been fucking around with multiple things, like not just homeless, but now the strongest being, arguably, that we've had so far besides Boros. Like, this is kind of weird, bro. Like, and we haven't.
Potentially vaccine as well. Vaccine man. Basically, anyone that says like I got my power from Mother Nature or something like that, you could almost chalk that up as a possible God gave you a power up kind of deal.
I disagree. I didn't get that connection from the vaccine dialogue.
I think when it comes to your question of like, is this the same thing as Orochi? I think it's an amplified version of it, because what Psychos is doing is on a much bigger scale. It just seems like she's absorbing like everything in the vicinity, where Orochi was like, it wasn't even like the whole monster association. It was just like the area that he was at, so it was a lot smaller. So I think it's the same ability, just enhanced version of it.
Really is fusion, where everything gets amplified past its core components.
Yeah, so I think there were two parts of that. I think the slappy thing I was cool with. I didn't really have too much of an issue with that. We saw Orochi use it, and through their fusion, Sai Orochi, whatever you want to call it, seems to be using it to a slightly amplified state. Cool with that. But in terms of, did you make mention of how God was kind of presenting them himself to Sai Orochi and to Homeless Emperor?
Yeah, the difference. That's another instance there. Yeah.
Yes, I think he might be. I feel like there's a deeper level of manipulation going on, where, for instance, for Sai Orochi, for Psychos in particular, he came across as something really unique, something that I think piqued her interest scientifically, because we've seen that from her before, and she saw this Jupiter-looking thing looking at her, saying, well, he didn't even say shit. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna flood you with power. But and Homeless Emperor saw him as like this being that was devoid of it had a human form, but not really human characteristics. And I feel like that kind of fit in with his story of being cheated by someone who was superior to him, and then he was shown someone who kind of was lacking humanity and gave him something more. So I feel like this God character manipulates in the way that he shows himself to them, and then he kind of gives them a reason to buy in. And I think Psychos was kind of looking for that kind of scientific breakthrough.
Oh, so their physical representation is going to be very enticing. It's going to be something that they want, essentially. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Something that I hope relate or help them join the side. I agree with that 100%.
Like, yes, come to the side of evil.
I was like, because I think Homeless is setting change too. Like, I remember grass and shit, but I have to pull the chapter back up to remember his exact setting.
Yeah, he looked like to me, he looked like a tumbleweed or something in a humanoid form.
No, he looked like essentially if you were to get like a picture of someone's nervous system, just their nervous system, that's what he looked like. I think.
Yeah.
So like you've seen those pictures of like chakra like that.
I kind of viewed it as like, you know how like when certain characters have like wind powers and it's like whirling around them?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I always pictured it, but I do like the nervous system angle.
Yeah, I like that, but like I actually go with the wind belief, but that makes me want to pull up the God whenever he showed up, because like, didn't they mention here that like whenever he showed up for Sairochi, like it was like brain cells? That's the narrator said. The brain or whatever?
Yeah.
That'd be some shit if like he like that's fucking crazy. Like, imagine, like, I'm not saying this is far-fetched, but it's probably something like, not along these lines, but like, you know how like they used to break down in school the body into like the circulatory system, the nervous system, cardiovascular system. What if like just like we were seeing how Sundown put it, like what if that was like his nervous system or whatever, that was just there communicating? Like, what if he can do that for like, what if somebody else will see like just his heart and all his vessels and shit like that, like talking to him? It'd be weird if that was the case, but
that's possible.
Too far-fetched.
Yeah. So far from what we've seen, it's not anything that's out of there. Just the concept of God in general opens up the possibility for anything. So just from what we got so far, like I would probably buy into that so far until we see otherwise.
Maybe ground it more like because I do like the connection to where like the formula which he's displaying himself, as someone put it, that may have something to do that's directly connected to that individual in order to persuade them. So like Sairochi or Psychos is really like I guess like mentally, I don't know, like just a lot of mental process, I guess you put it. So like I guess that would be more attractive, or like that would be I don't know how to describe it. Like it fits, it matches the theme. I just don't know what theme like a nervous system like you mentioned would really have in intact with homeless. Like was he talking about feeling? Is that what he mentioned in his dialogue, that like he'd been thrown out and that nobody cared about him or some shit like that? What was homeless's backstory?
Homeless's backstory. You want to go, Kishin?
No. You go first.
I think his backstory was he just gotten a job or something like that, and then his boss had told him to kind of dance naked in front of his boys. Then he got reported for it. He got fired by his boss who told him to dance naked. And then he was thrown out, made homeless as a result of that. And then he was just kind of living in a park, and he had hatred towards humanity for that. But then he lost that hatred because he realized how small humanity was in comparison to Earth, to nature. And in that kind of form, or in that phase, this god creature came up to him and was like, "Hey, buddy,
let's get rid of that cancer humanity."
Oh, but you do make a good point, because I think, skipping ahead slightly here, one of the things that we saw towards the end of this chapter was that kind of mind unity thing. So if this god person is presenting himself as kind of this nervous structure, this brain tissue looking-ish thing, that kind of fits in with the idea of this unity of mind kind of thing that they were discussing at the end, but I'm not sure exactly what was going on at that point.
Anyway, the point I was more or less going to bring up is it might affiliate with something that is going to be more centered with themselves. Like she's more scientific, more mystical because of her psychic powers and all that. So like this planet looking thing that's kind of just talking to her, she's going to understand that. But homeless, he was just a regular dude. So like having this more human looking thing would be a bit more to his level of understanding, maybe. But like it just looked the way it did because it's supposed to show to him that it's like, I'm not just a person. I'm something completely different, and you're going to listen to me. I mean, hell, if a planet basically comes up and says something to me, I'm probably going to listen to it, you know?
Oh no, I'm handling that nigga. He gone.
Okay, so you fighting Ego, the living planet, then, huh?
That nigga
like,
gone. He's
hands,
gone the next minute.
So I'll throw hands with you, and then he throws literal moons at you. And it's like, shit. Okay, I've misscaled this one.
I mean, we do have the Space Force now, so we're definitely heading towards that eventuality.
What, we gonna fight? We gonna be fighting planets, huh?
No, like we'll be out there, like from what I've been hearing, like the predicted like path is gonna be like we're gonna have like low Earth orbit shit for like tourism and other little types of industry, while niggas start building towards mining and shit, and then we'll have the ability to like not necessarily bring huge giant rocks into orbit, but maybe like go mine something and then like bring those mine materials as much as you can carry to like an orbital station in low orbit or something like that, and then bring that down, and then like just the amount or like what the materials are, because they're so rare, different, or like plentiful. It's like the niggas are talking about like more than trillions, like multiple hundreds of trillions of dollars in like in that industry or whatever. So like that would progress to like defending those mines, defending those resources from other countries, and then you'd obviously have like space warfare and shit, and then maybe even colonizing, because that's the entire process of humanity. You keep moving around like nomads and shit. So probably colonize the moon and Mars, everything inhabitable within the next like 500 or so years, maybe even less. Because in 100 years, we now have a device that can do anything, bro, in your hand. You can fucking call somebody across the world. It can fucking tell you where you are on the planet. It can fucking shine in front of you. It can fucking play tunes. You can fucking like you can do all kinds of shit with this shit, bro. You can scan materials and it'll tell you what that material is. Like a cell phone is crazy. We got to that shit like less than 100 years, bro. Less than like 10, 20 years and shit, 30 years, I want to say like that development. So it's not even that crazy to think that, you know, if Ego pull up, we gonna do that thing to his ass. That tighten up, bitch.
Man, if people colonizing space, bro, I understand why people hate humans. Like all this space around here, you want to colonize that shit? If you don't take your ass somewhere else,
Less hate here, huh?
like damn, that's just being greedy.
Yeah, some Martians, nigga. You get that Martian pussy for real.
Whoa.
Whoa, what you mean, bro? What's wrong with Martian pussy, bro? Like you being racist ahead of time?
I mean, that's not being racist. That's just having a preference. I just like my women human. That's it.
What you mean, bro? It can't be human person pussy on Mars.
Hey, listen, I got my preference. It don't mean I'm discriminating. Well, no, it does. It does.
So your hoe's gotta be from Earth, bitch.
Yeah, I'd rather have an earthling.
Holy shit, bro. That'd be some
Terrestrial
shit, bro. That'd be some shit. You take a trip to go to Mars and shit. Get some Mars pussy. Do some gambling over on Mars and shit. You catch AIDS for some bitch on Mars.
Okay, you gonna get super A's, nigga.
It's the Martian super AIDS.
Damn.
Oh shit. All right, but up next is I guess we'll start crawling into the big event. So there isn't really like a name dubbed for it, and it's kind of scary because the last page of the chapter made it almost seem like these can be spammed. So like Delta Beam or some shit like that, like Triangle Beam.
Beam cannon.
Yeah, what are we dubbing this unofficially?
I just roll with Tri-Beam cannon just because.
Yeah,
Geometry beam.
Yeah,
Tri-Beam?
Tri-beam.
yeah, it works.
That's what I was calling it. I think that's probably what everyone was calling it. If you're a fan or even watched a little bit of DBZ, you know what this attack looked like.
Like, this is kind of crazy, man. Like, I guess Boros. All right, let me start this off. I'm gonna say this from the beginning, so that I can speculate throughout the rest of the podcast without having anybody fucking in a comment section talking about somebody. Bro, you really think Sairochi can shut your ass up, bro? Damn. No, I do not think Sairochi's Tri-Beam surpasses the roaring cannon of Boros. I don't believe that. There is definitely room for discussion, though, and just want to put that out there. Like, niggas want to climb on. Niggas have already been talking shit in Discord. Like, out there, we may have to start a Boros Defense Force soon, bro, because niggas are crying, bro. They don't even want to even just have the conversation. Like, I agree. I want to protect Boros too, but like, he's not a god threat. I don't think Sairochi is either. But like, we're gonna have that conversation one day, and then Boros won't be like the prize like queen of the series. So it's. And we may have already found him. This nigga's out here giving niggas above dragon power ups, bro. Like, but let's one incredulous thing at a time, bro. What do you guys think of the Tri-Beam?
It's big.
That shit was beautiful. I'll just say that first. and I kind of feel like Murata redrew the Phoenix Man thing in anticipation of this attack specifically, just so it wouldn't look super similar to the Brave Giant Kamehameha that we got. Which hopefully that it isn't the case. Hopefully that's just a coincidence, but that's what I feel right now. But nah, that should look strong. But the thing that puts it down is the fact that Tatsumaki came out not unscathed completely, but it didn't seem like she suffered much damage at all from it. So that kind of puts it down. What's up?
Should we talk about that now, or should we wait till everybody goes? Because that's big. Like,
I think.
Go ahead.
I think we should wait till everybody goes, because I think that's a whole different talking point. But it's impressive for sure. One of the most impressive attacks that we've seen. It's just that because it's not named and because Tatsumaki came out of that seemingly all right, kind of puts it down a little. But look great. Like I said, looks impressive.
I'm noticing a pattern with some of these like really big energy blast beam attacks that they always have like electricity coming off of them. Because Orochi had it. Brave Giant was a bit more understandable because it was probably electrical based, a good bit of it. And now this. But yeah, I do like it. It looks like almost like a diamond in this one panel because of the way that those three white beams and then you have the lightning in the middle. I could definitely see like the center one having a one on the opposite side that we can't see, and it'd be like a triangle, or not a triangle, but a diamond. It doesn't make a lot of sense because of how her hand's positioned, but yeah, this was scary. It only got worse as we went further into the chapter.
I thought the attack was amazing. Like, just straight up. I was hoping we'd get to see some sort of use for those two sticks. We've only seen them, the one that Sayorochi's worm body thing is holding with those two blackened arms. I was hoping they would kind of be pressed together and used to kind of make it look more like a four-armed attack. That would have been cooler. But just the double spread we got the mountain range in the back. We got this foreground, which is absolutely bust up because the spires coming out of the ground. It just looked insane. And then the effects we see of it. I was obviously, like, when it comes to Boros's attack wasn't aimed at, I don't think it wasn't aimed at the earth, was it? It was kind of horizontal attack. Whereas this one was this one wasn't really aimed downwards, but it downwards enough where it hit the earth. And it wasn't aimed at Saitama either. But yeah, I was shitting my pants when I saw this. Awesome.
That next panel, man. Like, even the last one, because everything we talked about was on the page where Sayorochi first lets off the blast, where you see her still connected to the huge pillar of the association that was lifted up with the Slurpee stuff connected all the way down. Like I mentioned in my reaction that like the background scenery is just as amazing as like most things we've seen, man. Like just the dark, like kind of like tint and shading to like the mountains, like their pointy shapes, like the fact that like he even went through the trouble of like drawing the shadows of the clouds above, like the shape of the clouds, like it's like this is an aerial, like a really really good aerial view too. Like this is, you can tell that like he's at least flown recently or something, because like that's, you would see like that little indent or space between the ground and like the cloud and shit. When it's dark, it's usually raining. Like it's like there's so much detail into the background. It's like, bruh. But moving on to the next one, like where you see like the actual full extent of the blast, where like you can see the clouds actually get cut, bro.
Yeah. Just from the effects that we got after it looks pretty devastating. Pretty damn devastating.
And his view is pretty high up there too, bro. Like you see all of the entirety of like the association, bro. Like this is a high up ass view, or not the association? Yeah, the monster association shit. Like in the beginning, we were just talking about like how some of the plates on the ground were like twisted and shit. Like that's the city, bro. Like, god damn, bro. The entire coast is covered by that shit, and that wave there that got hit by that has to be like hundreds of meters high, dog.
Those have to be some low-lying clouds.
Very good point.
I just now realized that. Because, like, how is she cutting through the clouds, which presumably would be pretty damn up there? So then it's like, but then she's also hitting the water at the same time, and it's a
Yeah.
straight beam. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it shows that it's tilted. Like, yeah,
She's not that high up.
pretty high up. King, remember that view that King had? He was like, "Oh shit, bro!" Like, yeah, he's pretty high up, and she's the top of that.
Suppose maybe, but it just they're either really low lying or something. Who knows?
Damn, man, this is like I say, this is better than the sequence for like the Kamehameha, but like Child Emperor, like you mentioned earlier, just like I really hope that that's not the case. I really hope that like Child Emperor can get a Nova later on, but I just don't see the point of like removing, because this isn't like the Nova didn't really contest this. Like this, I don't think anybody like we've already seen the Nova, and it's still in existence. Like we can still like access those scans or whatever, and nobody that I've heard has ever said anything about like this compared to like the Nova. Like it's only been like what, like 3 days, 4 days. So granted, we can wait because more colorless needs can come through and like say some shit. But like, I really hope that's not why he removed the Nova, or at least that we get a different version later on. But I think Brave Giant's done, and I think he ruined Giant Emperor.
I'm pretty sure that there was like no comparison regardless had he kept it. Because
100%.
like the Nova, like when it hit, it took out 1 or 2 boroughs, of a city when it came out of the ground. This takes out the western seaboard. So I don't think there's a comparison. If anything, they should have kept the Nova, because then it leads up to like, oh, you wanted a big, energy blast. Well, don't you worry. You're going to get a big fucking energy blast later on. You thought this was big? Oh, I'll show you, motherfucker.
Yeah, tell him, Daddy.
And she wasn't trying, as far as I could tell. Like, she seemed like she's effortlessly just blasting this thing out. So, imagine if she tries hard. Oh, Lord. Could she wipe a whole city off the map at that point? Or multiple cities? If she's, like, on, like, ground level, and then she just shoots a beam, and then just starts cleaving through, like, what is it? I think B cities near Z? Or something? I forget. It's weird how the map works.
This is like, wow. This just had me speechless, bro. It still has me speechless. I gotta say it. Like, this is like the Frontier panel is like it is number 1, but this is number 2. It's either this has to be number 2. There's nothing better than this. Like, the Moon panel was fucking badass, but like, I don't know if y'all niggas ever like, you ever like tuned into the broadcast for the NASA space station, bro? Like, for the satellite, bro. Like, you can see it's live all the time. You can see that shit. Like, it's scary almost, bro. To see the planet, or like to see the edges of the planet up against the background of space, like that's just like it's kind of unnerving. And to see it here,
Flat earthers.
yeah, yeah. And just
I
like this,
can't lie. When I used to look up space shit, like whether it be Jupiter, Mars, whatever, wormholes, shit like that, I used to get shook. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I used to look those pictures up. I used to get shook. Like, oh shit,
that's scary,
this
bro.
really got here. Yeah,
Like that's not like that's not no pretend, nigga. That's really outside, bro. Like that shit really do exist, bro. Like that's crazy, bro. Like, well, Sundown, you also go ahead and get on your knees real fast.
I'm prepared. All right. So when I saw this, like, because I thought it would have finished with getting 2 double spreads on 1 attack. I thought, all right, Murata showing us that this is an insane attack. Look at this. Look at the range of the attack. The fact that Tatsumaki managed to escape it with the injury she had. We can discuss that later. But I was like, 2 double spreads. Yeah, that's probably all we're gonna get. Then when we got this, the 3rd double spread, we get kind of the space view. We see this. We get like kind of these not even really lens flares. It's just kind of beams of sunlight. We get the shadowed effect of this now raised part, let's call it Earth Minor, over the rest of Earth Major. And all I'm thinking while I see this shit is all of the people who have now been cast in shadow are looking at the direction of where the sun used to be, and they're seeing this huge disc suddenly raised up from the planet thinking, God damn! The heck is this shit?
In an instant, bro. Like,
so it's just absolutely amazing. You see part of the blast right at the bottom right of the picture. I think that's the remnants of the blast having gone through the planet. You see even around the kind of outer diameter or the circumference of the circle, sorry, you see like water just falling off of it because of the gravity of Earth Major. I was like, the amount of detail that's gone into this. Murata was just there day and night looking at like whatever planet Earth with David Attenborough, and he was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna draw that shit.
oh my god, bro. Like, thank you for describing it like that, bro. Because I tell niggas every single live reaction that you should read, like get immersed when you're reading it. Like that's the only reason why this is so fucking good, because this is happening in the real world almost. Like these are real fucking cities that look like fucking Japanese cities, bro. Like you can, like I said, you can go on the stream and look up fucking streams of people walking around. They look exactly the same, bro. Imagine being in that fucking city and you see fucking the earth lift up and block out the sun, bro. And it's like I don't even know how to fucking talk about the physics here. Like, would the clouds really stay up there if the earth like fucking moved up like that? Like, is the atmosphere gonna be interrupted and shit? Like, why is there water falling off the edge like that? Is that water should be falling miles to the fucking ground, to wherever it's hitting? Like, isn't that water gonna be going at fucking crazy ass velocities? Like, what's gonna happen when this shit comes back down into place? Is it even gonna come back down into place? Like, were there any like tectonic plates that got lifted up because of that? Like, what? But there's so much to like talk about here to like in terms of the after effects of this that like this is irresponsible, bro. This is irresponsible, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro?
And it gets even better later on when this little disc then collapses back in on the major part of Earth. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit to talk about there in terms of the heck's going to happen with all the water that went underneath it. That's going to be... I hope that's a point of the story going forward.
Oh, there's going to be earthquakes and shit for months, if not years, after this, and Japan was already bad.
Bro, this is probably like extinction level shit, dog. It's got to be extinction level shit, dog.
The coastline is going to go up. It's going to disappear. And they were only like 15 miles away from it.
Like,
dude, with it pancaking down like that,
front property.
But with it pancaking down like that, and people were mentioning it in my reviewers, how could there not be a big ass tsunami flying towards either direction of this circle? To be fair, it should be going 360.
Yeah, how many directions?
But part of that 360 should be where Tatsumaki and the rest of them are. So is that going to be a challenge for Tatsumaki coming up?
It
Like a
has to be.
huge ass tsunami.
We already saw part of it, kind of. Like, I'm kind of mad that, like, the area that was so close to Tatsumaki, or the part that, like, Sairochi actually hit, like, the edge that we're seeing right here in this picture, like, the edge, like, that should technically be close to where Tatsumaki. She should be close to the edge on the part that's not lifted. So, like, what? Why didn't we see crazier effects in, like, this in the subsequent panels of this chapter? Like, but even before the last page, I think we see, like, the waves lifting up a little bit, and we already mentioned earlier that, like, the base is already pretty high up. Sairochi's at the top of the base, and Tatsumaki's flying, so they're pretty high up right there. Like, even though Kishin was saying that, like, they're not too high up, that's why the clouds were, like, cut like that. He was saying that the clouds were low. That could be the case, but regardless, there's still a pretty good distance up into the air. So, like, bro, like, the Earth should die. We're like, what the fuck just happened, bro?
It is an extinction level event. This is bigger than the fucking meteor that supposedly wiped out the dinosaurs. So she cut off what essentially amounts to a subcontinent. Like India. Like India just lifted up into the air and then slammed back onto the planet.
No, I don't think there's any continent this size, bro. This is like,
Well, I'm just saying that's like the closest thing I could come up with.
yeah. I guess a piece.
That
I'd probably
ain't
say.
Hawaii.
Go ahead.
That's all I had to say.
I was saying, like, as a piece, this is probably like 1/9, maybe like 1/12 of the Earth. Is that, like, reasonable or, like, no?
No.
In terms of surface
It's
area.
less than that.
Yeah, I'd say it's less than that, just due to the. If we're going by, imagine an apple.
Mhm.
If we going by, if that was the slice of an apple, I think it'd be like. That looks razor thin, so probably around about maybe more than a 20th.
That looks
maybe even a
razor
30th.
thin. You don't think it's like
Yeah.
the bottom center is thicker than the edge?
Yeah, so it could be a little bit more thick from like center of that disc to each side.
Yeah.
So you're right. It might have more kind of depth to it. So it might be a little bit bigger in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be like depth wise. Yeah, not like necessarily like the surface and shit. Like if you slice a piece of an apple, I would have meant like that. Like out of the entire surface of the apple, if that's 100%, this seems like 1/12 or 1/12. But you guys are saying it's more, it's whatever. Yeah, but this is number 2.
Ugh.
I'd say it's maybe almost a third of the moon, or fourth, something like that.
Look at that, bro. So you get that top part where it's kind of an Oreo without its filling, and then you get the bottom part where it's the Oreo starting to fill out, and then you get that collapse where all the water gets ejected again. So there's going to be a whole shit ton of beneath that, and
There's going to be a surge like we've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
had before.
yes, that has to be a plot point moving forward. If it isn't, I'm going to be disappointed big time.
The tornado versus the tsunami. Yes! I want to see it.
I mean, maybe we should save this for later, but it seemed like the right time to bring it up. Blast?
What's up with him?
A blast is going to punch the tsunami back where it came from.
Like,
Oh, we're going to find out he's like in a lounge chair. He's just on vacation on the edge of Z City. And then it's like he was trying to get a tan, and all of a sudden, like this massive wave of water is blocking the sun. He's like, the fuck is blocking my sun? And then he's like, well, that could be bad. And he's like, he just blows on it. And then it just slices through and it evens it out or some shit.
well, let's ask the questions along the way. Like, should this attack threaten humanity?
It would if this was the real world.
Well, I mean, definitely parts of humanity, because I'm not sure. Depending on what's around that area, so that tsunami is going to carry all around 360 degrees, but we're not sure how much ocean span there is between that and land. Definitely the side that Tatsumaki's on, there should be some big ass tsunami going to greet them in the next few chapters. But on the other sides, we have no idea what this planet looks like. We assume it's like our own planet, but can't be sure.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's bigger with like different setups for the continents and land masses, but like all in all, like it should still be similar effects. Like it's still an aquatic planet. I would expect volcanoes, tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes in responses to that.
There's like less than, I'd say, 50 miles. I don't know. I'm not really good with measurements. But it looks like less than 50 miles from the edge of where the beam hits the Earth to where she is firing it. So, and then the coast is somewhere in the middle to that. So that tidal wave is hitting it's going to go inland a good ways.
Yeah.
So, like, basically, Saitama's going to need some flood insurance for his apartment. I mean, the beachfront property, I was joking about that earlier, but, like, his house is, like, what? Somewhere on the outskirts of the main crater where the base came out of. So yeah, that's going to be underwater for a while. It's a good thing he's not on the bottom of the apartment, I suppose. But yeah, that, like, all those clusters of trees and everything, all that's going to be gone.
Jesus.
And then, holy shit, I just thought about something.
What's up? Bro, you see the cloud?
No,
I didn't even notice that shit.
What, it looks like it's pissing?
No, like
Like
the whole thing is above the cloud, but like that's like.
But I just thought of a very horrific thing. Evil natural water. All this water is going to be rushing towards it.
Oh,
He's going to absorb that shit and become
Oh
massive.
damn, bro! What if the tsunami takes on the base, and then even natural water? Bring the ocean to even natural water, bro. Make him an above dragon threat.
I mean, I didn't even think about that because, you know, we don't really know what happened to him after the base came up. But, like, with how much water is going to be rushing towards the city, that has to be a possibility. So, like, unless Tatsumaki does something with the tsunami, evil natural water is going to be the next big threat we got to deal with. Maybe that'll be the tsunami she fights.
Yeah, because
unless natural water is going to be like some sort of creature where, oh no, the salinity of the ocean water, seawater has affected my. I'm dead.
I'm natural water. That's seawater.
This is bullshit. Who brought this water here?
Yeah, gay shit. No, but that's fucking like around the panel where it says splash, splash, thud, thud under the translation for the sound effects. And like I didn't notice this when I first read it, but like, yeah, man, like you see the mountains in the back and like you see the cloud right here, and the water that's splashing down is coming from above the clouds. Like that's this is that fucking One Piece shit or that like flying like moon thingy attacked Capone's ship, like, and then you just see like the fucking wow, man.
Look at that, dude. That does not look good for anybody on the planet.
Z and probably B City are going to be the most likely targets, but I'm not sure what city is directly to the side of Z.
You gotta put them on a map because I'm pretty sure they're like that Z City is like surrounded on like all sides besides like I think like the south, but it's just unmarked land on the other part.
I don't know, like there's not many maps of what, you know, all the cities look like, so it's always a struggle.
See, but in my mind, if it has the same structure as Japan, wherever these guys are living. They're screwed no matter what city they're living in. I mean, like, you just got part of Earth, bitch slapped the rest of Earth, and now that's gonna push the biggest tsunamis known to man, like horrifically huge. They ain't got nowhere to escape. Someone has to stop that, otherwise it's game over.
Bro, there are waves above clouds, bro. What is this?
D City and maybe E City might be affected by this.
This is crazy. No, hell no. Keishan, bro. Everybody dying, bro. We're blasted. Until the drive night. We're blasted.
I'm just thinking about, because imagine a lot of this water is probably going to go where the base was. So then it's going to be going probably through the sewers. So even if the cities aren't like close enough to the shore, probably all the septic systems are going to be fucked. Everyone's going to have like geysers coming out of their toilets.
Yeah. See, I'm convinced that these tsunamis should be large enough that they'll just demolish whatever's in front of them. Like they won't even need to go through the sewage systems. They'll just take over the entirety of Japan.
Yeah,
that's how big they'll be.
I feel like there's a disconnect there between like what we were thinking in our head. That's what I was thinking exactly.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be so huge because they're gonna be gathering water. That's the main aspect of a tsunami, which is so devastating. It gathers momentum and water as it continues to travel inland. So then when it hits coast, it's going to be the biggest it's ever been. So what we see right now is the tsunami probably at its smallest point, and it's already above cloud level.
Let's hope Tatsumaki can do something to slow that down. I mean, otherwise, the natural water will pick up the slack, and he'll be happy to do that.
I want to say this before we continue, because like, I don't know, I feel like this is a monumental moment. Like, we've seen what demon fights can turn out to be like. They can be some really fucking good demon fights. Chose and Suiryu, a bunch of Genos' fights beforehand. Like, there's some really good, the Zombie Man, Pure Blood. There's some really good like demon fights that we've seen. The dragon fight. There's some, bro. The Melzigard interaction, the whole flashy fight, the removed Phoenix fight. Like, there's so many badass dragon moments. But we haven't really gotten to see what an above dragon moment was, because unfortunately, one person that Bordeaux fought was Saitama. We didn't get to see the norm. Whenever we get two dragons fighting, like a regular hero that's not Saitama and a dragon, or just two characters that we can add to that category that we can see a description of, that they gave us like a mean of what that category is about. We just added two individuals to that category, so now that adds to the total. Now we've seen like 6 to 10 dragons. I think we've had in total, like 12 or 10 dragons we have in total. That's 10 or 12 individuals who we can look at like what their power is like, what they can do on average. But we don't really have that for above dragon or like even god, which hasn't been shown yet. So like, if this is what an above dragon fight really entails, not the stuff that Orochi did before, what does that say about what Orochi did before? And what does that really say about this? Like, is this really even comparable to what Orochi did before? Like, could we even say this is on a different scale? Can Tatsumaki technically fight a god? Just like a demon could probably fight a dragon. We saw Genos fight EC. Didn't mean he was gonna do anything about it. But like, is it far-fetched to call Sairochi a god? And is it far-fetched to call Tatsumaki not a god but able to fight one? Or like, is it too? Am I assuming too many things? Like, what do you guys think on like that the reveal, or like seeing more about an above dragon fight?
I'ma say it right now. All right, so I don't personally think Tatsumaki got this. I mean, we just saw someone. It's the first time we've seen it since. And what I liked about this, by the way, was the fact that we got this really distinguishing feat. We've seen all of these dragons, and even slightly, maybe even a high-end dragons, let's call them. High-end My Hero Academia, yes? Okay, but so we've seen all these guys perform some amazing feats. I think before the redraws, we had, what was his face? Phoenix Man, who's not trash. We saw him do some amazing shit. All that good stuff. But as we've already been told multiple times, and even with Orochi, they were only ever threats to the cities they were in, or the country that they were in. They were never going to planet bust or anything. They were just threats to the cities or the countries they were in. But then we get shit like this, where we see someone physically knock the shit out of planet Earth, and then we have to reconsider, okay, this is what a god level threat is. This is what its defining feature. This isn't just an issue for one country anymore, multiple cities. Humanity is shitting their pants right now. So I don't personally think I've seen enough from Tatsumaki at the moment, unless she unveils some awesome trick, which is like in her, which sleeve does she have left? Her right one, maybe? But unless she unveils some mad thing, which we've not seen before, I don't think she got this, which is why we need either a Saitama or a Blast. So I think she's going to have to be delegated to like Tsunami control, because other people got to control that now god level threat, in my opinion.
Wow. That's he did it once for Phoenix. He's doing it again for Sairochi.
Yeah,
I didn't say trash.
That boy capping.
How you feel, Sugi?
Fuck it. Yeah, because I forgot what I was about to say. But I give Tatsumaki the benefit of the doubt in almost every situation except for a hypothetical with her and Blast and her and Saitama. Maybe Boros too. I won't give her the benefit of the doubt in that, but pretty much everybody else, if you ask me who's winning, I'm probably going to say Tatsumaki, just because the only time we've seen her hurt is when she was Psychos did that thing where she was in the barrier and she basically like reversed it on her. And even in that situation, she was nerfed because people were in a monster association and she didn't have the free reign to use her power how she wanted. So as far as we know in the story, Tatsumaki, when she's at full power or when she's not restricted in any way, she has not been hurt. I'm not scarred, just hurt. She's not been hurt. So even with this attack that we've seen that is super devastating, from what we can see, what we can surmise, she took the attack head on and only got a costume change. That's it. So either way you want to slice it, because it doesn't make sense that she dodged it, because obviously she had to at least be grazed by it. So even if you want to say she blocked it, that means she's strong enough to block the attack. If she took it head on, that means she's strong enough to endure the attack. So from what I've seen for this fight, it's confirmation to me that Tatsumaki would have beat Orochi had she actually fought him. And I think she's still going to handle this fight with Psychos, not only for the reasons I've said with her power. She hasn't really been checked yet, but I feel like as far as the story goes, Fubuki has to come into this fight, and it doesn't make sense for her to come in a fight because it's on a scale that we've never seen before. She doesn't belong in that class. So it goes back to what I said before. I feel like Psychos is going to use Fubuki kind of like as a hostage, just so she can get Tatsumaki off her back. And I can't really see Fubuki coming into this fight in any other way, because she's not going to fight. So it has to be a situation or a scenario like that. So that's how I see it.
That's how you have a good discussion, a contrast of points. Sundown supports Sairochi's victory after display, and Satsuki cements and reassures what Tatsumaki
Let me
has
just
already
clarify.
accomplished. Go ahead, sir.
Let me clarify. Okay, so I think I'm gonna tame my opinion a little bit. I don't think
he's walking it back.
I don't. No. I still don't think Tatsumaki got it, but I think Tatsumaki has to show us something else here. So I don't personally believe she's got the brute strength to take out Sairochi. So I think she's gonna have to use her noggin a little more. She's gonna have to use what she knows about Orochi and Psychos. Possibly have to use a bit more strategy and forethought in how she takes her on. Because if she, like you said, she took some of this attack and she managed to dodge it, but the fact remains that she identified that she had to dodge it. She didn't stay there and deflect the attack or something like that. So I feel like, yeah, there is a possibility she can win, and I'm hoping that it does go down that route, but I don't think it's going to be through sheer brute strength.
Well, I think she's stronger, but I don't know how much stronger, because I think even Tatsumaki acknowledged that Psychos was, that attack was something different than what she's seen. And usually Tatsumaki is one to never give someone their props as strong as they are. So that just tells you something. But her demeanor is also a reason why I believe that she still has this fight under control, is because even the way she was drawn wasn't super serious. At one point, she was kind of like, she had that comical kind of trollish face, not like the chibi thing that we seen with her when she took the gravity attack. It wasn't like that disrespectful, but it was still kind of
the condescending face.
Yeah. It was still. It felt like she was still in a place of where she could be arrogant. Like, she still wasn't taking the fight as serious as she should. Because even though she was surprised with the attack after it, it wasn't really much fear or any fear at all.
Yeah. So I see that, and that's why I'm kind of hoping Tatsumaki takes this to another level rather than trying to outstrength her. She kind of manipulates her mentally, so she keeps saying things to annoy her, gets her. I'm hoping Sayorochi's emotions affect her abilities, so maybe she's completely annoyed that she can't utilize her abilities as well as she thought she could, because this is new to her as well. This is something she's done before.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So I'm hoping she, like at the end when she was calling that "you're stupid," I'm hoping she does more stuff like that and kind of manipulates her in a way that brings victory to her. But then again, I don't think Sayorochi didn't really look like she was putting in too much effort as well. Like, she just popped that attack without really busting a sweat. She was just like, "Yep, here we go."
Yeah, that's fair.
Did her glasses break?
Did they?
I don't think so.
Go back one page.
She had them on.
And go down.
Somewhere.
And then look at the frame on that one.
Oh, wait.
It's her eyebrow.
Is it her eyebrow? Oh my god, I can't read.
I can't see.
Yeah, but what I also liked about that panel, I forgot to mention it, was the fact that she has a triangle of her hands going one direction, and the triangle that's on her chest is in the opposite direction. So there we go. Yeah.
So what did she burn? An energy triangle on her chest?
Yeah, it reminded me. It reminded me a little bit of Iron Man. It's in the original pose that she had.
Yeah, part 2. I remember that well. The second one, I mean.
You can even see the shadow that her titties cast over her. Like, oh my god.
This guy, we're talking about energy beams. He's like, "Oh, look at them flesh parts."
It's just pure energy.
Them titties.
We gotta have some love for Tatsumaki too. She looked good in the fight as well. We got some Tatsumaki fan service.
I mean,
I have to wonder if like that energy aura she has around her is more of like a close range barrier.
it's probably something like that. Like both of these guys are pretty convincing, like in like their viewpoints that like, especially Sasuke. He mentioned that like he's more the opinion that I want to contest in only the smallest way, because a lot of what he said, or only one of the things that he said, is like really based on the fact that like she is based on this panel right here, this picture, and I can't say that like I know what's going on here. So like the rest of it, I agree. Like she was, I do believe that this presentation, if it is true that she did tank it, That means that she could have handled Orochi. And just in general, she did to the base and how she was able to just avoid this kind of attack like that close. Yeah, it shows that she probably could take Orochi. Yeah, man, she can do everything that you said. I agree. It's just I don't know if she tanked this or not, and that matters a lot to the scenario because if she tanked this with the orb, the glow or whatever, that means that she can tank an attack that can cut the crust of the earth and just be looking back behind her like that. But the fact that she's looking behind her and like it makes me think like what really happened. Like why are you looking behind you because of like you just saw the attack? Like is that like the attack just stopping now, or are you looking back behind it because of the tsunami? Like there's a sequence here or a panel to, or at least a transition panel that we're missing, and it really describes what she did to mitigate the attack. Is it far-fetched to say that like she dodged it? I mean, to be honest, look which side of her clothes is ripped. Like it's her right arm. The gash is on the right side of her body, but she's also missing her left slipper. So like, and she has scuff marks on her left cheek and her left thigh or whatever as well. So sure, we could even make a claim that it's like universal. It's like uniform even the damage, but like, I don't know if I'm ready to accept the fact that it's possible that she just tanked an earth-cutting attack head on, just by blocking with a glow, and she's not even debilitated on the ground like Fubuki was. Like when Fubuki tanked that attack, and she was like, "Oh, I can't run away" or whatever. Like the whole Garou, yeah, like that's what you would expect from taking something like this point blank. Now, granted, that would really change her position in a fight, but like, I just feel like it's a lot to assume that she tanked that, but we currently have no other choice because this wasn't even the end of the chapter. Like, we got a lot more context and a lot more sequence to that, so it's not even going to be like readdressed or like even going to make a prominent thing. Like, she just avoided the attack. That's the final thing that we could say. And would that, which is more like impressive, or like, which is like, did she dodge it or did she tank it? Like, which should we give her? Like, should we give her the benefit of the doubt of tanking it, or like?
I'm gonna say both. Like, she was probably tanking it at first because of how she's positioned when Sairochi has her hand up, ready to fire, and you've got Tatsumaki with her hands up and in front of her and everything, ready to defend or whatever. And then you have this where we see the damage afterwards. I think she was tanking it, and then she realized, this is a bit more than I thought it was going to be. And then she started moving over to her right. And then she started lowering her guard a bit. And then that's kind of what singed some of the, her sleeve off and everything. At least that's kind of how I'm thinking about it, because otherwise none of it makes sense. And then you can just say the reason why the one shoe is gone is because, well, a lot of force just hit her all at once. It's a wonder she even had either shoe left. But that's how I would think it went.
It's hard to tell. Go ahead. So no.
Sure.
You got it.
All right. So I think I agree with Kishin for the most part on that, in the sense of the way I'm kind of imagining this now, because at first I just thought this was her evading it, and the props I was giving to Tatsumaki was she must have been fast as shit getting out of there, because even though the range wasn't as much for her to dodge, so from let's just describe it in very basic terms, from left to right, the amount of distance she had to travel wasn't as much as if she was further away, the part that cut through the earth. But she would have had very little time to dodge it because of her proximity to Sairochi. So I thought it was an amazing feat that she was even able to only have some of her clothes burnt away. Very, very fast reactions. But the way that Kishin was describing it kind of makes me think that, yeah, maybe there were elements of her taking the attack. I wouldn't say tanking it. So what's the best way? So let's say in boxing or MMA, there's something that they usually refer to as rolling with a punch, which is, you take a hit, but you don't absorb it fully. You kind of move with the punch. Yeah, exactly. You roll out of it, so you don't take the brunt of it, and then you can carry on moving. And I think that's kind of what she did. She took some of it, but then props again to her speed, she rolled out of it and got to safety.
Isn't that why you use Vaseline to to help with that?
Yeah. So Vaseline can help punches slide off your face or something like that.
That or to stop bleeding, one of the two. Damn,
Yeah,
man.
but usually if they see Vaseline on your face, they wipe it away though.
Yeah. Damn, man, this is probably the point of contention in the chapter. Like, I can agree with both sides. I hope you guys make a bet over it again. but yeah, man, this is like. If you guys want to put your own input onto the question whether Tatsumaki dodged it or tanked it, we have a poll question out since yesterday, and it'll be up for a few days. We won't be releasing that poll video for a few days with some of the things scheduled. So if you guys want to give your opinion, drop your thoughts as well as your vote on what really happened here. Make sure you check out the channel in the community tab, and you can add your input. So let's get on to the dialogue heavy part. Tatsumaki yourself doesn't make the connection of where the power is coming from, because absorbing the monsters in the association probably couldn't get you power like that. Is that reasonable?
Fair enough.
From what she's seen, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, what about what we've seen? Like, if you put all the dragons together, do you think you really could get power like this?
I mean, I don't know. This is shit. I don't know. I mean, I would have to say yeah, because saying otherwise would kind of, I guess that would kind of say that Psychos could beat all of those dragons, which I don't want to say. So I would say that yeah, we could see this power if other monsters refused and whatnot. So
I suppose the only other comparison we'd have, Satsuki, do you reckon Boros could beat all the dragon class we've seen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's king for a reason.
I know he's beating back Sperm, but he's beating him. So this is I don't mean to side, but I side because of the complexity of the situation. Like, we both have to deal with our main translator not being here, and using Lucci's relying on Lucci 85, which he's done an exceptional job. Very, very good translations, very clean. Everything is very, very understandable and clear. But it still seems hard to understand at certain points, at least as to what's really going on. And I don't know if that's like Win and Murata's own issue with explaining the concept, if it's my own issue with understanding what's really going on, or if the translation was just difficult with this section. But what do you guys tell me what happened from your viewpoint? I know I recapped it in the live reaction and review and even at the beginning of this video, but what do you guys think happened in your own viewpoints?
Happened with what specifically are you talking about?
Like the process of Cyro, this thing appearing during the transformation, and then the dialogue that Cyrochi was talking about, like the whole brain cell, yeah, all this, yeah.
Oh, just from what I gathered, it was just like while Psychos was fusing with Orochi, it was kind of like the moment that we got that ties into what Shonen was saying with the Phoenix Man fight aligning with webcomic material. I believe that the section where we had Phoenix Man basically go inside this separate world where he was talking
Phoenix
to Child Emperor. Yeah. I think that's kind of what happened. Like we didn't get to see that, but that's the moment where Psychos was talking to God and attained the power that she got. Yeah, that's my interpretation of it.
I just find it weird that if it is like the same god or whatever, why is it always giving it to people that are going to be evil? Like,
That
isn't that a little weird?
that was a question I was going to ask too. Like,
Is he just
why?
sick of our shit and just wants us to be dead?
I was going to ask like, why is God popping up when He does, and like, yeah, just like why? Like, why with Homeless Emperor and why with Cycles now? The
This must
timing of
be
it
a
too.
more common thing, I'm guessing, going forward. Because now we have two pretty clear examples of some kind of deity-like force bestowing power. That's unless this was just all in her head and she was having a god complex anyway, which is what I chalked it up in my reaction, because I was like, oh, she's probably freaking, just having a moment. It's like, yes, this power, it's so great. I can do anything.
So you think this is from Orochi, not like some hallucinating shit? Like this is Orochi's boost, huh?
I mean, she's all chalked up on the what did you call it? I think it was like psychic juice or whatever.
I call that shit a chug jug.
Oh,
No,
well,
that was
that combined
that was
with the Orochi fusion, I think she's having a little bit of a hallucinogenic moment. But it could be some divine force. I don't know.
So this ain't even God to you. This is just like her. Okay.
psychic crack
Well, it's
juice.
like it's coming into a form that she understands. And this is probably, with what she says later, and then with how the form looks like, how it's a neuron, and she like sees this as brain cells and everything. It's like there's definitely a theme going on there. So that's why I'm thinking maybe this isn't some supernatural force or deity that's coming down to her. Maybe this is just what she wants to perceive is happening, and it's like, I don't know.
Hmm.
We'll definitely have to see this kind of thing happen more often, maybe.
So which parts was it that confused you specifically, Grimm? Because I'll let you know what I was thinking about him.
Okay. So I guess we can go through the dialogue. Yeah, let's do that. Let me read through the dialogue, and then that'll like refreshing it. So the narrator reads: brain cells, the structural diagram of the universe. It looks like Jupiter's surface, something like God. Time was stopped. It looked into me. I felt fear. At the same time, a mysterious power was flowing into me, right here. So was Orochi.
Yeah.
And the power that she says to have manifested is exactly what Orochi had. And the beam attack that she did is exactly what Orochi did. So is this Orochi asserting control? Or is this like a depiction of the struggle? Like is she just like he's saying hallucinating, like she struggled so hard, she's popping so many like vessels in her head that like she's starting to hallucinate and she can't control herself? Or like is this the process that's required to get into this transformation, or like is the character that we saw as a god almost, can we define his powers as the ability to give power and the ability to like send hallucinations? Because this is why I brought this in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
the slurping was going on by Orochi. The beam is Orochi's. Orochi wants control to kill Saitama, and he said it. I don't think that he's just gonna be gone. And he was present too whenever the right there. He saw the beam, he saw it, so his mind is also like this too. In both panels, they're both shocked and they're both amazed at what they're seeing. So I guess that kind of like it kind of like removes the whole. No, it doesn't. No, yeah, because they could.
Well, this was more she was telling Tatsumaki this, so this might have not. This is her dramatization. That's what I'm saying.
No,
like
this is what happened.
would
No,
be-
what? We even got the black borders. This is the flashbacks to what happened.
I'm just saying, it's a possibility. But these kinds of things, it can easily go either way.
Yes, I suppose Kishin's right there. This could be a dramatization. I don't necessarily agree with that. But seeing as it is explained from her point of view, this is her kind of explaining her thought process. She could be playing it up a little bit. But the way I kind of felt it was this was straight up that quote unquote God figure, and this is how he presented himself to Orochi and Psychos. And I think what we see here is the fact that, give me a sec. Yeah, my bad. So what we see here is how this God character, I think what he did here was he kind of chose one of the two of them. So it was between either Psychos or Orochi, and he was kind of tantamount in who gets control of the mind, who's the actual dominating figure in that relationship. And for one reason or another, he thought, yeah, Psychos is the one. She gonna be leader. So
she bad.
yeah, so he chose her, and then she saw all this kind of, she had all this power flood within her. But I don't think that power is necessarily just Orochi's power flooding into it. I think that was additional power being given to her by God, just like Homeless Emperor, because his power came out of nowhere. So I think it's more than Orochi that's been flooded into it. It's been something else as well. And then when she says all this stuff about this power lets me absorb all living entities, that seems pretty straightforward. But then we get to that confusing part I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Which is after fusing, the spirit becomes a massive thought entity. So I'm not sure what she means by this. Like, the monsters that she absorbs through her flesh roots, does that mean that there's like a cloud of kind of minds that she has control over? So all the people that she absorbs, she can hear their thoughts, all that type of shit. Is it like a Tsukuyomi type thing?
It's kind of like fucked up that when she's saying that, we see a bunch of faces at the bottom of this panel. Like, I just noticed that. Yeah, these are faces. And then after fusing, the spirit becomes a massive thought entity. No, I think that's describing.
Because I think what she's saying there, she has dominion over all of these minds that she's now absorbed. Because then she goes on to say, I'm a star-like perfect life form. I wonder if I can become Earth itself. And the way I kind of understood that was, she's saying that she can spread these flesh roots around the planet, and kind of, if she absorbs every single person and has every single person's mind within this kind of unity, she can be kind of all present. So then she would quite literally be planet Earth.
Do you think it could be?
At that point.
Do you think it could be a possible nerf for her in the future? Something that could be something that could be, yeah, because it could be a situation where she overloads her power with too much. Because if she's quote unquote unifying minds, it can be like something that's just too much for her.
Oh yeah.
Like the first thing that comes to my mind is like the Philosopher's Stone from Fullmetal Alchemist, just to give an example of that. But yeah, it could just be something where she's like, it's over too much, and if they're living too, and she's still getting like thoughts of other monsters or whatever, it could be something to where it's too much for her to handle. Too much to.
Yeah, I agree. And there might be some specific minds which completely throw her for a loop. So maybe if she linked in with Blast or Saitama, but actually the prerequisite was she had to absorb them, right? So I don't think they'd even fall into that equation. But yeah, you're right. There might be an overload, or maybe if someone like Tatsumaki or Fubuki willingly fused with her, would they be able to fight her from the inside out?
That could be.
Oh, it'd be gay. Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want anything like that.
Saitama goes fuses with her. Starts
Fucking
mentally clapping it.
7 deadly sins gay shit.
Astral
Do it.
plane battle. That's usually how psychic battles go a lot of times.
Whoa.
He's going to delete that. That wasn't safe.
This ain't no PC space. Nigga, I say what I want, bro. Fuck that mindscape shit, bro. That's so gay. That Phoenix space shit is gay as shit. The shit that
Well, that was
Taizai, that's big gay.
It happens a lot. Like I said in Fullmetal Alchemist, it happens with greed.
Yeah.
But it's cool when at least in the episodes that I've seen, where like that black figure shows up in that door. It's cool metaphoric symbolism or whatever.
Oh, that shows up in the gate.
Yeah.
That beckons you to come on to this.
I don't think I've actually seen it in an episode. It may have been like in like videos where people like are explaining plot or like are giving like information about it. I don't really know too much. I just know that like I'll probably still give it a watch through regardless. I just know that like that black figure has something to do with like giving the truth or like or something like that, truth or some shit like that. I don't know what the big reveal was at the end.
No spoilers from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll probably end up watching it, but that shit scared me, dog. like the whole like occult thing. Like I used to be really, really religious, so like just seeing like an entire story based off of that and like how it was actually like so costly. Like this shit had like real stakes to it. Like this nigga lost his mom off like this fucking demonic shit. I'm like, damn, wonder if I watch that bitch. And then when I give it a chance after I grew up a little bit, this motherfucker turns his daughter into it. No, bruh. So I dropped it, bro. Like, I can't.
You dropped it because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
On that day,
Shaw Tucker got you up out of there.
I almost threw up and everything, bro. That's
He threw up.
I almost, but like
Word.
that's like
He heard woof woof around the corner and he couldn't take him.
that's sickening, bro. Like, come on.
It was shocking for the first time that I seen it, and I was a lot younger, so I was like, damn, you really wanted that check.
All right,
And then, speaking of religious,
yeah,
she has a destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
this is the other fucking confusing as fuck part, dog. So the dialogue reads, "You're the stupid one here. This was fate from the start, a huge current. The end for intellectual beings." And we see this like prion like Snape type thing, like give Eve an apple. I know this is metaphoric, but is this metaphoric? Like, what is? Like, this is the part that's so difficult, and I'll try to explain why it's like so difficult. Like, I don't believe that they're saying that Orochi or this prion thing was there back in the day, but fuck, this is hard to explain. Like bear with me. Like I'm trying to like my issue is why is there a connection between Orochi's power and the thing that God gave her? Like this is my problem fundamentally. If this is an illusion or something that she's like describing from her mind, she's talking about the power that she got. So why is this Orochi-like thing, the thing that she got from fusing with Orochi, there back in the beginning of time? For instance, she's saying it's like it's fate that this was gonna happen. She said that she was fated by this being, this guy or whatever, was saying that it's fate that this was gonna happen. So why is he there since the beginning of time? If this isn't some like intellectual thing, or like some like
It's probably Satan. It's probably just Satan who's giving everybody powers because that's kind of what he does to cause chaos.
yeah, but we don't have that much religious symbolism here, like almost ever in anything.
I'm just saying, like, that would make the most sense. It's like, hey, homeless dude, I know you had a bad rap in life. Here, I'm going to give you exploding powers. Become a terrorist for me.
Yeah, I agree. I fuck with that. I'm just saying, like, this is like, do you get where my plight is? That like, we don't necessarily know what. I'll say it like this: God interfered in the middle of their fusion. We technically don't know now, according to this chapter, we don't know what a Sairochi and an Orochi fusion would look like without a god, a power up. We don't know technically now. In this panel right here, this picture solidifies that statement. She's saying that somehow Orochi was in the back of time, or that she's picturing him since the beginning of time. That this was fated type thing. Like this is a fated type thing. So that means that either God had to influence the design of Sairochi that he looks like now, of Orochi, how he looks now on the bottom, to look like this. So it was fated that Orochi, whenever he transformed with Sairochi, was going to look like this because of God's influence. Or
She's just inserting her form into the story, is what I imagine it amounts to.
sure, but like I just don't understand why it would be the form of Orochi in the tree. Like if she's the one that's picturing this or describe this in her own head, why would Orochi be the one that's setting this up? Wouldn't it be this God figure?
Well,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because based on the picture that we got, it's kind of like if she's setting things into motion with this picture, giving Eve the apple, then it's kind of like she would be the one who set things into motion with this fate instead of God, based on the picture. But if it was God's will that she was going to be like that, it would make more sense for God to give Eve the apple. I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
like
But
to
see, then this proves why it's probably more Satan that's giving these power-ups, because God doesn't like you to worship other people, and she's basically becoming a god herself. I don't think God would like that.
I
Satan,
had
on the other hand, probably giggling like a little schoolgirl in hell. It's like, yes, it's happening.
yeah, I didn't have the impression that this was actually like a god. I thought this was like just another monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're just using God as like a name placeholder since we don't
Yeah.
know what else to call him.
I'm just going by because this is, straight out of Christianity. So,
So
The
you
way I
Mhm.
sorry, you want to go?
no, go ahead.
The way I saw this panel was kind of metaphorical, in the sense that what we see there didn't happen, as in Orochi wasn't there to start off anything with Adam and Eve. It's the way the dialogue was going. She was saying that this was fate from the start, suggesting that this god creature, whatever he is, I assume he's some sort of monster or progenitor for that race. But he has some sort of plan that's been going for a while, is what I took from that.
Yeah,
And then her saying I was the chosen one as the last representative. She's kind of saying it makes it feel like to me like this god person has some sort of plan that revolves around picking humanity to take out humanity, and she was chosen as like the last representative of humanity. Once again, this could be manipulation. I doubt she's the last one, because this god character sounds like he might continue and be a major part of the story going forward. But that's kind of how I took it. It was kind of a metaphorical thing rather than an actual thing that happened.
No, I get that. I agree with that. She's like the last being that's being influenced. That could be possibly. And that the next time we see his influence will be he himself. Sure, if that were to be the way it goes. I'm just saying that, like, if this is metaphorical, how you're putting it out to be, that he's had a plan this entire time, why is Orochi in the picture being the progenitor of the plan? Why is Orochi the one that's affecting Adam or Eve or whatever this is at that time period? That's what I'm saying. Like, if this is an original story or a conception from God to Sairochi, what does Orochi have to do with that from the beginning? That's my entire thing. Like, why is the new form of Orochi, why is that there on the tree? He has nothing.
Yeah, it's unique how it's also just, it's quite literally just Orochi. It doesn't involve the Psychos part, so maybe it has something to do with his neuron-esque appearance and that kind of going back to that brain unity idea.
I don't agree with that.
Well, something's
I don't
definitely
even know, man.
influenced her to becoming so genocidal. Because as it goes on further into the page, it seems she calls it like psychic destiny and everything. So there's I think just the fact that they have psychic powers is definitely hinting at that, oh, I was chosen for a higher purpose. Well, what? How is that a high purpose if you're just going to wipe out everything? That ain't nothing.
I think so now I think we all think it's symbolic. It's not like something that actually happened. It's just that Grimm's problem is that it was Psychos pictured. It should have been God based on if it's by fate or whatever. But I think it's just Murata trying to keep up the whole imagery of Adam, Eve, the serpent, since Psychos right now is like snake light. So yeah.
I agree.
I think that's just the whole thing of why we saw that.
Then is it reasonable to assume that Sairochi's current design is almost completely influenced by God?
I wouldn't say the design was. I wouldn't say the design was influenced. I think he just kind of he let shit happen,
Only God can make those curves. Maybe.
No, I'm just saying, like, the bottom part. Like, if the bottom part's in this picture here, and she's saying that this is due to God's plan, then is it not God's plan that Orochi was gonna get that design?
Based on her line of thinking, yeah. But I don't think we can definitively say all of this is fate and whatnot, because that's just going down like a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
There's no way to prove it.
I wonder if she's trying to make like a race of psychics.
Based on what Psycho said, I don't think she knows. From what she said, it seemed like she only knows Fubuki and Tatsumaki as psychics.
Me too. Well, Gearspur, but
Yeah, she don't know him yet. She hasn't seen the might of Gisp.
so moving aside from more the confusion, I'm sure some more dialogue will come up that we can elaborate upon. But with the dilemma of the truth of what's going on with Psychos still in the air, we also get information on Fubuki and Psychos' relationship. Previously, we saw Tatsumaki mention, "Aren't you Fubuki's friend?" Whenever she had her lifted up, the puppet. And it's been quite a while since we've had any information or any reference or any discussion about that. So it seems like here we are confirming that they were friends at a certain time period, that she does know her intimately.
Probably in middle or high school.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Says, dialogue says, "This is ridiculous. You of all people should know that the only ones who gather around espers are those trying to use them. Since you aren't mentally prepared, you get yourself seduced by some strange being and taken as a pawn." So yes, it's almost Tatsumaki's almost confirming what we're saying, that the people that are surrounding her, that came to Sairochi, is there to use her. And that could probably give some more insight into Tatsumaki's like mentality, like just in general. That's probably why she's like so mean and aggressive with
Exactly.
the association members, because she knows what their intentions may be.
You ain't using me.
Yeah, we know. We've heard the conversations of the executives. We've heard like how they think of the heroes. Like we even heard some of the executives like complain or not agree with like how they still think of these heroes as like tools or just like pieces or pawns on a board. Like she isn't wrong to think that. And she isn't wrong to be defensive. And we also got hints of her backstory. She was behind those bars and like those people in lab coats were running. Like we know that something was going on with authority, her body, how she is now. And it's not surprising that she's like real defensive about that.
Yeah, it's a real good piece of dialogue. Not only that part, but I think another piece of dialogue that I like was when she said with great power and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, with great power ending up absorbing every single thing, then ending up being alone in the universe sounds stupid to me. It sounded like she was almost talking to herself in a way, or maybe talking about someone that she knows. Like she finds the idea of having all this power, it would just lead you to being alone, and maybe that's why she is a loner. And like going back to what you said about like her talking about people using psychics, I think that ties into the bit of the backstory that we've seen with her. Most likely, I'm almost like 99% sure that she was like an experiment or something like that. They were trying to find out, about the psychic powers, why she's so strong and whatnot. And that's a reason why she is a loner, the reason why she's mean to everybody. And it gives meaning to what she said to Fubuki with her subordinates, with the B class, and why she probably didn't want them around Fubuki. Maybe she feared that they too would probably use her. So that's what I got from the dialogue.
But in this next page, and Grimm just pulled it up, the final two panels, well, it kind of leads in from the second panel, obviously, but like, does it seem more like she's directing that at Fubuki and not Tatsumaki?
Oh
like,
yeah, Psychos.
calling
Yeah,
me an
definitely.
idiot even after witnessing my power. You still won't acknowledge me. But then that's when she visualizes Fubuki. So then that got my mind working on a theory, which watch my reaction for my initial thoughts of that. But I think Fubuki may be more than we realize in a couple different ways.
What do you mean more than you realize?
Well, that she might be more powerful than Psychos was back then, and she didn't, want to acknowledge her in that way, or Fubuki might have a dark side that we're not completely aware of just yet, because that is a very sinister-looking fucking panel.
What do you mean a dark side? Like, what evil could Fubuki do?
Look at that panel again. It's like that could just be her visualizing. It's like, that bitch, she's evil.
Yeah, because you think she's a bitch.
And like people do typically do that. Like they'll always, see it in cartoons and stuff, and like they'll, like, what the character looks like. But then when someone who hates them visualizes them, they make them look ugly and everything. But it hints at something a bit more to me, and I think I'll try and do a video on that.
You know what I want to do a video on?
I can guess.
What's up?
On that Sairochi Bude.
I mean, at least I mute myself when I do my business.
Nah, she looks sexy as fuck here in this big sale. But I definitely agree that like she was definitely thinking of Fubuki and Tatsumaki when she said that shit. Like she's definitely having flashbacks. And it's funny that only now. Well, no, it kind of makes sense in terms of like the sequence of events that now she's elaborating more upon Fubuki and like her actual like grudge and shit because she has power. She's taking heed. She's like ahead of it. Like this makes sense. This is good dialogue in fights. Like, I hate the whole Naruto bullshit where the guy fucking explains his entire philosophy and shit, and then fucking explains why he's just doing it because he has to, and then he says sorry. That's gay. Takes away from the story, takes away from the sequence. It doesn't happen in the real world. Nothing happens like that. But this, niggas, they talk shit when they fight. Like, bro, I told you, bitch ass. It's the same thing.
What it also doesn't take away is from the freaking cyber dragons that pop out.
Oh yeah, man. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yu-Gi-Oh, bro? Like,
what is it? Space Godzilla or whatever? The one that has like the crystals on its shoulders. I'm not a big Godzilla fan, so I don't know all of the monsters' names. But that's kind of what they remind me of. It's weird how the dragons just keep getting new redesigns and stuff as this goes on.
I think it's supposed to be different. I've seen a picture of a woman sitting on the back of like of a multi-headed like tiger thingy. I think it's like a mythical animal or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be a similarity to or comparison to. Which is cool. The symbolism is always like, welcomed, and it isn't like horrible. It's just weird and shit. So I'm expecting more from that, but at the same time, like,
could also be a reference to the Yamata no Orochi, because there's 7 heads, but there could easily be 8 heads there. Unless you're counting the Orochi body maybe as a head.
I don't know. Would you guys think about like just this chapter in general and like what it means for 133 and like everything else moving forward?
I'm looking forward to some Fubuki involvement, seeing how she's going to. I'm really looking forward to the bat story, like a full fleshed out bat story of Psychos, Fubuki. I think it's going to be mainly those two. Tatsumaki's going to be in there, I believe, but I think because obviously Fubuki and Psychos are peers. She's the one that she's thinking about, so those, like Keisha said, they were probably friends in either middle school or high school. We're not entirely sure, but from what we know Fubuki's probably was stronger than her. Maybe the way I see it, the way I envision it, is that they were probably around the same strength. Maybe Fubuki creeped up and then just got a boost. She got a lot stronger than Psychos that made her inferior, and it kind of like grew apart as time went on, as she started to resent her, and then it led her to doing she went in dark place, and she's doing what she's doing now. So that kind of makes me scared that she can get taught no jutsu. I'll say that, but I'm looking forward to the backstory above all else.
I hope Fubuki doesn't come out and be like, I apologize, it was all a misunderstanding back then. You were just a bitch.
She can't do that now, in my opinion, because it's like you could have killed Fubuki if it was like you could have killed Fubuki. So fuck all that. Fuck all that.
At this point, almost might anyway, because you know how like water, like as it gets more, like gets really heavy. Do we know if Fubuki could like put up a barrier enough to hold back from being crushed by the water itself? Because that tidal wave's coming. We've discussed it already, but and she's the only one that would have any like logical defense, I guess. Because Child Emperor, he's got nothing right now.
Tell me about to show us how to cut water.
Well, my God.
I mean, that's the thing.
Oh my God.
Hey, Yuddy, I said it.
I was looking to clean my blade after that skirmish, and then
My blade still got some black sperm on it. I need to get rid of it. I don't know how it got here.
Before anyone notices.
Nigga's gay.
It's literally what it is.
If you put a black like the black sperm, he's purple.
Oh.
Nah, I think I agree with I was gonna say Tatsumaki with Satsuki. I really do want to see more of that backstory. I don't want to see. I think Fubuki's a little far away to be involved in this unless she starts flying. Which has she done that before? I don't think we've seen that before.
She can hover and levitate and stuff.
Can she fly like Tatsumaki is right now?
I don't know if she can go like fucking.
You don't remember the? Oh, you're right. You just said hover.
Well, yeah,
I'm not sure if she can actively like vertically propel herself through the air.
Yeah, I don't think she's got like jet-like propulsion.
Yeah.
Good lord, dodging those beams in that last page. That I actually thought that was one of the Orochi dragon beams bending. I was like, why the hell is that one doing that? Yep. And then I realized, oh shit, that's Tatsumaki just flying around.
Yeah. So I do want to see a backstory, but I also don't want Psychos to be forgiven. I want to see Tatsumaki actually analyze her opponent, or be forced to analyze her opponent a little bit, and kind of work out what the weakness is. Because, like we said before, she may not fully be able to tank that attack, but she seems fast enough to dodge it. So long as she's able to do that, she has a competitive advantage. So if she uses her brain a bit, finds out where her weaknesses are, that would be cool. But then if you scroll up, Grimm, you can see in the distance on the horizon, there are waves in the back.
Yep.
So somebody gotta stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you know what they say when it comes to the tsunamis? As soon as you see the wave, you're already fucked.
Yeah.
So
No, not in this case, maybe because they're miles high.
Yeah.
nobody
we're talking real
on the
people.
ground probably fucking knows what just happened. They are fucked unless Tatsumaki like holds it back, or even Atomic, you know. But how big of a fucking? No, I'm just saying as another option. I'm trying to look at this as logically as possible.
But
like,
the FAS is tsunami. They
but would he
present.
even be able to cut through the whole damn thing? Like, what is the biggest slash we've ever seen him do?
He can't, bro. Relax. You seen that meme?
Oh, record that. Somebody was clip that.
No, relax. No, Gino's got it.
I mean,
Hell
it could
no.
evaporate a good bit, but like everyone would have to be like almost right there on top of him to be protected. You know, where he could just like burn a hole through it and evaporate the water as it's coming. But I really don't see that being an option either. Because then the water on the sides would just kind of flush them out, and then they're like, Genos, you fucking lost again to a tidal wave. It's not even a monster.
So before we head out, it is pretty like reasonable to talk about like who should be dealing with the tsunami. So like, it's our first option. I do agree it should be Tatsumaki, but is Metal Knight a plausible option to deal with the destruction that's going on right now?
Yep. You want to expound on that, brother?
No, you go ahead.
I think he would be a very, very viable hero for this situation, but I'm not sure exactly how useful he'll be considering the size of the situation. I mean, the last kind of quote-unquote natural disaster which he was tasked for was the meteorite, if I remember correctly. And he didn't do too good a job of that. So if he sees this, he's probably going to be like, maybe he could fire a nuke at it before it gets anywhere too close. Maybe he can try and disrupt it using his technology as the tsunami's approaching. But I think it would be interesting to see what he could do if he does turn up. I'd be happy with that.
Actually, I think like the most logical thing that he could possibly do is like, it's been alluded to that he has like an army of robots at his command. If they all have the ability of flight, they could fly in, identify a target of, you know, a civilian, get them and fly them out of there, out of the wave's destructive range. Other than that, I don't think traditional weapons gonna do much against this dude. Unless there's like a giant seawall that fucking unfolds at the coastline. He's like, I planned for this. And now I finally get to use it.
Or imagine if you had some sort of souped up steroid psychic crack juice version of what was his face? Child Emperor's freeze gun was?
Ooh, that could be fun.
We got a new mountain range coming, boys.
Yeah, maybe. It's still pretty fucking big though, man.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if he threw a freaking ice nuke at it. And it became like some mountain. I'd be disappointed if that happened.
Yeah, this can't be fixed easily. We have to see like catastrophic damage to this.
Yeah,
and then he turns it into some kind of skiing resort.
Unless Saitama shows up and like punches the waves out.
And then it just starts like little tsunamis with all eyes.
See, that's the thing. It's like even if Saitama, this is something that Tatsumaki has to kind of pull her finger out her ass and really, really try to push this.
What the fuck, bro?
I've never heard that expression ever.
Is that hello, Britain?
I've heard that saying. So
I've heard like pull your head out your ass before, not finger.
Yeah, these niggas out there, you know what kind of porn they watch.
I apologize to the rest of England. That is a saying we have over here.
Oh, your niggas dirty, man.
Yet pulling your head out of your own ass is less dirty.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying I've never heard it. That's literally the first time I heard that.
I've seen it in porn.
I've seen it.
In the comment section, people that drink tea unite, help a brother out. But yeah, I feel like the tidal wave is a completely psychic problem. There has to be either Tatsumaki. I'd be surprised if Fubuki did something against it. I think that's a jump that's too dramatic a jump for her to do within a short space of time. And if Saitama popped up and punched it, I just don't think
much in this arc. That would just kind of ruin it.
Yeah, I just don't think that would work. Like just punching a tidal wave, yeah, that would get rid of a section. But what about the rest of it? Is he just gonna punch across the circumference of the tidal wave? I'm not sure how to
circle around and hit the lower part of the Pangea-like continent. They're like, holy fuck, there's a tsunami coming, and like they were not aware.
Like, unless we get some like hardcore Rod has really been studying that shit. Saitama digs down to tectonic plates and kicks it in the ass and sends a tsunami the opposite way. I really doubt something. I don't think Saitama's going to be the one to solve it.
Yeah. This is crazy. All right, guys. We returned with a spectacular 132. The art was great. The story was in depth and world building, and we got some more understandable viewpoints on what's really going on here. There's a lot of things to debate, a lot of things to speculate. So throughout the week, if you guys want to talk about different topics that you've heard here today, and that you will hear throughout the week, come to the Discord. We discuss everything all day long, not just One Punch Man. Everybody here releases channels and content, as well as Zhoniin and Matt on One Punch Man and other stuff. If you want to check out their videos, the links are also in the description below. If you want to support us on Patreon, we have a bunch of different tiers and perks. If you want to get the before the show episode 2 or get access to that series, I think it's just a $5 membership, the base membership for Patreon, and you'll get access to that and a bunch of everything else. If you want to get the early, uncut, unedited podcast tonight, the day that we just recorded it tonight, check out our Patreon for our $20 tier. And remember to always get your dick sucked, bro. It's important to get your dick sucked, bro. You go out there 2-3 weeks without getting your dick sucked. That can cause problems, bro. You get a build up in your balls start to hurt. You need to get your dick sucked as much as you can, as often as you can, with as many different girls as you can. Yo!
I don't know about that last one.
Don't get the blue balls, people. Don't